This is the walkthrough video for Wednesday. It's January 29th and try to week 10, and I'm hoping you'll find this week's yellow bell work. All right. What is it called when cells do use oxygen to create ATP? Do you remember? Yeah, that's what we're thinking about today. Today, we're going to review what we've learned about the carbon cycle. You're going to end up with a quiz. I should write that for you just as I'm thinking about it. Quiz on Tuesday. As we get toward the end of the trimester, it's important that we keep up to date with your work. So today I'm going to do a quick recap of the carbon cycle assignment because quite a few people have had a couple of resubmits. I want to make sure you've got that. And then with the sub, you're working on a work day that does include beginning your Unit 3 study folders with the 2.3 and 2.5 study guide. You're going to have a quiz when I come back on Tuesday over this material. So the carbon cycle round 2, as I like to think about it. By the way, do you remember how we tested a real life enzyme to learn more about its properties? And we talked about how the structure of a protein helps it do its job. That won the Nobel Prize in chemistry this school year for cracking the code for proteins' amazing structures. This idea that you could use a computer algorithm to figure out the structure of a protein is a really important one in biology. So let's go ahead and continue our colorful table of contents. Today, I'm giving you page 51 and page 52 as responsibility, although you should have gotten these in class on Tuesday. So today's assignments, though, if you are a little mixed up, are 51 and 52. All right, so what are we up to today? You'll remember that we thought about how cellular respiration works. We learned that anaerobic respiration still allows bacteria to do glycolysis, the first step of cellular respiration, and make a little ATP, but then also survive in environments where no oxygen is needed. And we thinking about that, like that's also part of the carbon cycle, right? Where you're taking this material and you're turning it into other carbon-based molecules. Maybe it's CO2 directly in some fermentation. Other times, other organisms break down that lactic acid, right? We learned a little bit about how, when you looked at the carbon cycle assignment, how the changes of what humans do can make a big change. You also learned about how lots of carbon is locked into sediments and rocks, like these are from Indiana, right? These fossils are fossilized remnants of dead and living things that lived a long time ago, right? The other thing that we talk about in fossils and fossil carbon is coal, right? So when we burn coal, we have coal in Indiana. And when we burn coal across the country to make electricity, which you'll learn about in Earth space or maybe in physics, I think, you're gonna end up having that carbon locked away, and we release that CO2 molecule, right? And so in this story about how we can balance them, trying to figure out how much we'd have to cut our fossil fuels, how many plants we'd have to grow. That's an important thing that real life scientists are thinking about right now. So if you haven't finished the carbon cycle gizmo, now is the time to do that. If you have not finished bacterial broth, now is the time to do that. Most of you on time should be working on your Unit 3 study folder. 2.5 and 2.3 are together in one study guide because one of them is mathematical and graphing routines and one of them is content knowledge. And so you'll see the big thing we want you to do, we have a lot of different words that you might want to look over, but the really important part is drawing arrows that represent each of the processes here, where they begin and where they end. So that's what we want to make sure you know how to do. And then that information needs to go on your Unit 3 study folder. Now, if you've forgotten what to do for a study folder, here are the instructions for what a study folder needs to have. There need to be 3 diagrams. This will be one of them. You might need vocabs or terms with those foldits or with note cards in a pocket. And then if there are pictures you need to draw, things you do to help you remember, they do have to be handwritten. You are going to need it. It is going to be due before the trimester final. We do not give a Unit 3 test in on-level bio. We just fold this information into the trimester final, just so you know. All right, our cool down for today. We learned about the spheres of the Earth. Tell me which one is which. Copy and complete this with the name of the sphere after it. All right, that's it for me. I hope you're doing well out there. I'll be back with another recording tomorrow. Take care. See you soon.